What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope your Monday's doing well so far. In this video, we will recap this weekend's results and give my best bets for today's MLB slate. As always, if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button as it helps the algorithm find more sports bettors like you looking to make profit. Now let's go over the quick results. Saturday, we actually went 2-1 on our YouTube video, so I hope you guys got those picks in. We went 7-5 overall, profiting around 4 units with a 30% return on investment. We ended up sweeping college basketball again, and we hit our big 3% UFC play. So we had a very nice night on Saturday. And then Sunday, we actually swept the board. We went 3-0, and we also cashed two of our college basketball futures where we picked Duke and Auburn to go to the Final Four. So overall, on Sunday, adding those two plays, we profited another 4 units for a total profit of over 8 units this weekend. That's a fantastic weekend. Honestly, the last few Sundays have been a little rough for us, so that's a nice break going into April. So let's finish off March the right way. We've got one more day. I think we can find some nice profit for today. I found some nice plays that I like in the MLB. Not sure if I'm gonna really get into anything else today. I looked at a little NHL. Um, didn't really like anything on the slate. There's an over that I like, but I'm probably not gonna touch it. So enough about the weekend, enough about the recaps, and let's talk some MLB bets for today. My bet number one is actually going to be a parlay. We're going to go look at Ronel Blanco. I added his 4+ strikeouts to Tyler Glasnow's 6+ strikeouts, and that gave us a minus 109 odds, I believe, from DraftKings. Blanco cashed 26 of the last 29, hitting his first 10 games last season. He also racked up 8 against this lineup on the road last season, where his median dropped to 5. The Reds struck out 23% to right-handed pitchers last season, and they struck out 8 to Hunter Green and 5 to Nick Martinez yesterday. In the spring, Blanco ended up hitting 4 strikeouts, and he had 3 strikeouts, which was against the Mets in his last 3 spring games. And I do believe he should see about 80 to 85 pitches. Now, on to Tyler Glass now. Glasnow actually racked up 9 and 6 Ks in his last 2 spring games, which really gave me some confidence here. I'm not sure how much confidence I really needed in a guy like this. He averages over 11.28 strikeouts per 9 innings last season, which was absolutely insane, and I probably believe he's going to be right around that mark again this year. Facing this Braves lineup last year, he faced them at the beginning of May, and he had 10 strikeouts, which was also in LA, where they're going to be at tonight. And he absolutely dominates this roster. He has a median of 8 overall, but at home he's at 7. So I looked at his over 6.5 strikeouts. It's an okay play. I believe it's minus 125. Maybe it's moved up a little bit since this morning, but I'm just not sure if I'm comfortable taking the 7 yet. I'd like to see one start from him. And since the Braves actually came out of that Padres series getting swept, I do feel like they're going to have some revenge. They want to get a win. They know they struck out against this guy a ton last year, so I just don't think he's going to reach that mark of 10 this game. If you wanted to, I think this could be a good ladder spot, but I'm feeling pretty safe with just taking him to get 6 strikeouts, which you have to alt that. These are both alt strikeouts. And really, by the numbers, like I said, he dominates this. 8 of their hitters strike out over 25% against him, and 7 of the guys strike out over 33% against him. So I do think this is a pretty good look for him. Most of those guys actually have around 5 to 8 at bats against him, so that's a pretty good sample size, even though it's small. Um, Heck, one, two, three, four, 5, 6 of their main hitters hit under 143 against him. 3 of them have had 5 at bats, 3 at bats, and 8 at bats. Albies has 8 at bats. He's never got a hit against him. He's batting 0-0-0. Michael Harris, 5 at bats, also no hits against him. So he really owns this roster. Matt Olson, 9 at bats. He only bats .111. So this is just a really good matchup. I love this parlay. I did play it for a 0.5% because really the first week with my parlays, I've been just running them out as a half unit plays. Obviously, when you have more legs, you have more risk of losing a bet. So I'm just taking it easy the first week. Probably around Thursday or Fridays when I'll probably start letting some of these parlays go to 1% plays. Um, I just like to get a little more data on some of these teams, how they're hitting, how they're striking out. See if we can get these pitchers through one round of their of their pitching and see if we can see how they fared in their first at bat, see how or their first game, see how long the coaches let them go. So I really do like this play. Honestly, on Saturday, had I ran all of our parlays as one units, we would have really crushed MLB pretty well. So you live and you learn, but I do like to play conservative early on in the season. So stacking up 50 unit dollar bets or $50 bets, half unit bets is a pretty good way to start the season. So we'll move on to pick number two. The next two picks are actually going to be straights. The next play is going to be Kumar Rocker for the Texas Rangers. He's going to get his fourth start in Major League, so we don't have a ton of data on him. I do like the fact that last year he had 7 strikeouts and 5 strikeouts in 2 games. One of them was on the road at Seattle, who does strike out a ton, but his metrics were great. He struck out 10.8 strikeouts per 9 innings last year. And in the spring, he did get pretty roughed up, allowing 3+ runs in 4 of his starts. But then he ended spring on a high note. He had 8 strikeouts in back-to-back games, which really gave me enough confidence to make this play. It is risky, but I do think the Reds can strike out depending on the pitcher they face. I do believe if he's locked in against anyone, he can find 6 strikeouts. And I do believe if he's locked in most of this season, I don't think we'll see the over 4.5 line very much longer. Not sure why that's 3.5, but either way, um, I think yeah, the potential that he has, I think he can rack up 5 strikeouts pretty much against any roster except maybe the Padres. Cardinals also a team that typically don't strike out a ton, but this Reds team was actually a top 10 strikeout team last season. So I think they can fall back into that range again. And again, if he gets any depth, if he can at least give us 5 innings, I think this is a pretty good line for him to at least lock in 1 strikeout an inning. So that's another straight. I actually gave that out to my members at -125. It is now moved up to -140. I'd still play it. I think it's a good look. Major League Baseball, I'm fairly conservative with lines. I don't like to play a ton of juice. If it's juicy, I usually will do a parlay or alt the line down just to be a little more safer. But in this case, I think 4.5 is fair enough, up to probably -150 if you want to play that. But I really think if you want this, I'd grab it at -140 now. In our last play, we're going to head to Toronto. I like Bowden Francis to go over 4.5 strikeouts. His median was 6 overall last season, and it was 6 at home. He actually cashed this in 9 of his 13 games, and in his home starts, he cashed over in his first 3, hitting 7, 12, and 6. 2 of those were against Baltimore and Philly, who were some pretty good hitting teams. So that gives me a little bit of confidence. He was an absolute monster at the end of last year. He's very efficient. He's not a high strikeout guy, so I'm not sure how many times I'm going to target his strikeouts. But why I really like this play is currently Washington strikes out the 5th most in baseball, and they have had 8 strikeouts against each starter so far this season. So against the Phillies, um, they had 8, 11, and 8. So Jesus Luzardo, with his Phillies debut, went out there and hit 11 strikeouts, which was amazing. Aaron Nola had 8, and then Zach Wheeler had 8 as well. So, and 2 of those pitchers did not go a full 18 outs. I looked at his outs. His outs look great as far as the chart goes, but early on last season when they brought him up, obviously they were just bringing him in. Um, I just don't know if he's going to get to 18 today. It's not a bad look. Actually, it's moved. His line was over 17.5 -120, I thought earlier. Now it's plus 108. Yeah, I just really don't. I think I think he's more likely to go under in this game. One thing I really liked about Washington last year is that they were a pretty good contact hitting team. They draw out hits. They can take pitchers into long at bats. And with the young studs that they have, any of them can go off in any game. So I do like Washington. I don't remember exactly where they sit as far as the batting average goes currently, but I don't think their batting average is as terrible as their strikeout rate is. I think they're still hitting around 240 or 250 as a team. So I just think his first start, um, he got a little stretched out in spring. He did go up to 80 pitches, so he's going to have to be efficient to go 18, which is a possibility if you really like a plus money play. I guess I don't hate it, but I'd probably stay away from his outs right now, see how he goes this first outing. Being at home, I think he can come out and get 5 strikeouts. So that's the breakdown for today, guys. Pretty quick and sweet. For any other free plays that may not be in this video, follow me on all social platforms at Top Flight Wagers. If you want to join my Discord for free or get my exclusive VIP picks, Check the links in bio, the description. Any first time users use code NEW for a 3-day free trial, and you'll get 50% off the first month. As always, if you found this valuable, smash that like button for me. It helps the algorithm big time. And I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Let's cash these tickets.